Now, I'm going to have to give you a warning because I'm going to say buttery vagina and I'm going to talk about home births. So if you feel queasy, maybe this isn't the video for you. And if it is, please hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. And here you go, my story of my second birth. So my second baby was born here, right on this floor. And it was by choice because both my births were home births. And today I'm going to tell you about my second one because it was a much more positive one. Maybe one day I'll tell you about the first home birth. But yeah, so what was that, 18 years ago. So it began in this room, the birth. This room that was very different then because there was a telly there. We didn't have the piano. And on that night, there was my friend Rachel here that was almost a homeopath. Mark was sitting here. And we were watching... What were we watching, Mark? Rick Stein's Mediterranean Journey. So my friend Rachel had come like a week before I was due to give birth to doula me, to be sort of here for the birth and the time just after and just before. And oh my God, it was so brilliant having her here. It's just like it's like an extra mum, you know. Anyway, I went over the date a bit, and I was getting so itchy to just give birth, and I'm sure my friend Rachel was, so that she could go back home to Sheffield. She was giving me homeopathic remedies throughout, and then on the day that I went into labour, she gave me a secret old-fashioned midwife's potion. I'd love to tell you what it is, but I could be in trouble if I did. So I can't. You know, midwives in the past used to do this a lot. Anyway, it worked. This potion that basically just agitates your bowel. A bit like when people say to have a curry, so that you start having a poo and then it like sets it off. Anyway, so she gave me the magic potion, and we did not expect for 1 minute that I didn't expect for 1 minute that I was going to go into labour that day, but I did. And as I say, it started while we were just watching Rick Stein, and it went on for maybe a couple of hours before I properly realised that I was in labour, because my first labour was so tough. So first, actually, before I go any further, I should tell you what I did differently with my second labour. So I actually did yoga instead of signing up for it, paying for it and not doing it. I looked after myself a lot better, took more rest, and was just really protective of being pregnant. Whereas with my first pregnancy, I was a bit like carrying on, working up to the last minute. Yeah, I was really protective and much calmer and better rested before. But I put, and you can hear about the birth in detail, but straight off the bat, I would want to say that a massive difference for me was the fact that I did hypnotherapy. And we did actually hire a hypnotherapist to come to the house. And I think it was about a 2-hour workshop. Oh my God, Mark and I got the giggles so much. She was amazing, wasn't she? Who? The hypnotherapist. Oh my God, buttering the vulva. Buttery vagina. So, buttery vagina. So, okay. So basically, it was a 2-hour workshop where she kind of hypnotised us, but not like ding, 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 you're going under. It was more sort of, Mark was lying over on one sofa, I was over on the other sofa, and she was just talking us through. And then with that, every day, I also had to take a 45-minute rest where I would listen to the hypnotherapy CD. But of course, I fell asleep every time after 5 minutes, but I really don't think that made any difference. I think it was good. But anyway, so the headlines of what she taught me, though it was a 2-hour workshop, the things that I remember the most were battery vagina. So imagine your vagina is battery. I'm not sure where she was from, but she had this gorgeous accent. Imagine that your vagina is battery. Mark, imagine Nadia's vagina is battery. Honestly, he was crying with love. He kept imagining it, and you shouldn't have been imagining it like that. Anyway, so buttery vagina, slippery vagina. The baby will just come. She would just slip out. She would be battery, and she would slip out. Another thing that she said that was really massively important for me was, she said not to use the word contraction, right? When you contract, what do you think when you think of contraction? You think of that, contracting and going small, right? And in my first labour, every time I had a contraction, I would scream and go, no! And like, she said, if you think about that, you were like closing down your body. So she said, instead of contraction, I want you to use the word and the imagery of a wave, which worked really well for me because I love the sea. So what happens with a wave? A wave is that there's a build-up, you come to a crescendo, that might be really difficult or challenging, not difficult, and then you go down and you go into the shore, and then it comes back, it goes up, and it goes into the shore, and it comes back. And that was within the hypnotherapy. And I loved that. That really connected with me. Don't call it a contraction, because a contraction is something that closes and stays closed. But because I was so frightened with the first birth and there was so much pain, I was screaming and saying no every time with each contraction. But she said, say yes. So as it comes, say yes, yes, yes. A bit like an orgasm. Yes, yes, yes. Open. Open. Right? Now, if you think about it, if you're saying open, imagine that's like your vagina and your cervix. Open. It's going to open out. And it's going to make space. And the baby's going to come through rather than no. Makes sense, doesn't it? Funny enough, I actually spoke about this years ago on The Right Stuff. And I didn't know that the NHS had used this clip on, and then they use it in their like birthing something or other workshops. Because I've had so many people over the years come up to me and say, oh my God, my wife, thank you so much for that hypnobirthing. I just thought, how did I know about my hypnobirthing? But it was from that show. You might have seen it at the NHS. And because they said it like changed the whole thing for them. Anyway, so open, battery, vagina. And then the other thing was this was where Mark came into his own, which was he had to put his hands on my shoulders and push down. So this is me. He had to push down on my shoulders. So as I was having a wave, not a contraction, he would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he would count. And he would count. So I'm counting. So his voice going 1, 2, 3, up, up, up for the wave, going up to the top of the wave, the most challenging moment too. And oh my God, it was incredible. So anyway, let's rewind a bit. So I'm in here, I'm walking around, I'm watching Rick Stein's Thingy Odyssey. I think I had a little glass of wine because I remember thinking, because between my first birth and my second birth, I'm pretty sure this was the timing. Somebody said to me, a midwife said to me, best thing is you know, have a gin and tonic or a glass of wine, you know, chill yourself out. And I thought, God, yeah, bloody hell, here I am doing it with no bloody painkillers, no nothing. What's half a glass of wine gonna do? So I had a little half glass of wine. To consult your doctor. None of what I'm saying is informed medical advice, just sharing my own experience. And, you know, worked around the room, you know, wandering up and down the stairs, walked around. And then I found myself walking through here and ending up on here. Like this, with my legs wide open. And here we stayed, Mark, for how long? 5 hours? Yeah. 4 hours? So 4 hours, I'm here going, open, yes, yes, yes. And poor Mark is like this, with his hands on my shoulders, like sweating because he had to push down so hard. 1, 2, 3. And at one point, and there was my friend Rachel, just sat there the entire time. She was amazing. She was helping with homeopathic remedies and she was just incredible. And then at one point, Mark went, I need to go for a wee. I went, and I literally went like this. I went to my friend Rachel, bucket, bucket. Do you remember that bit? Because he was not allowed to leave. So she brought him a bucket. He still had to keep his hands on me and he had to wee into the bucket because he couldn't leave. And we did that right up until, however, maybe 4 hours, something like that, as we worked through 3-4 hours. I really can't remember, but it was nothing like my first birth, which was like almost 2 days. And so it was just the three of us. It was the three of us until the last hour, and then we called the midwife and we went back through here, like me like this, and back to this sofa. So then I was here like this, and we could probably drop some photos in now, actually. We were here like this, and I'm like this. No, first of all, I was like this. Yeah, I was like that. Like that. Did you have gas and air, Mark? I did on that one. Yeah. So he had some gas and air. I didn't. And so then I was like this. So then I you know, she was like, she then took over, and Mark was here, and Rachel was here, and I was just like, open. I don't think she'd have seen anything like it. Buttery vagina. Yes. You see, that deep sound, like, you know, like a cow. Mark, do a mooing cow sound when they're giving birth. No, the other one when it's low. Right. That's what you're going for. Up there isn't good. Touch, you want to go. Just that deep breathing is amazing. Push it out. Anyway, she then comes and she's there, and she comes out, and she came out absolutely beaming from ear to ear. The sun came in. Our other daughter, Maddie, came here. Mark was here, almost just going, I can't believe she's here, I can't believe she's here, because I'd had miscarriages before her. My mum and dad that live next door, they came round, and so within minutes she had like all this love. Remember, our eldest daughter was like, is she staying? And it was so funny, because when our eldest daughter came in, we said, oh look, she's got you a present, and it was a bike. And Maddie still says now, oh my God. She goes, all I could keep thinking was like, did the bike come out of your vagina? Because she was in the house the whole time. So funny. And it was just, yeah, it was just so lovely. And I was on an absolute high for for days, like a massive high. And I was like, I could have had another baby. I wanted another baby straight away. It was so weird. I think because my first one had been so difficult, it was just, it was just, the high was absolutely incredible. It really, really, really was. And you know, I cannot recommend highly enough the hypnobirthing. Actually, I met somebody the other day who said that she'd seen the NHS thing and she's now become a hypnobirthing midwife. So I'm just so chuffed by that. I mean, I genuinely think it made the most massive difference. And so even if, you know, you even if you go into hospital, even if whatever way you have it, you know, you know what I'd say, the top things that would be a takeaway are a contraction says small and reducing. A wave says that there's a beginning, middle and an end, and you will really want that in a contraction. And buttery vagina, like it's just going to slip out. And another thing that she said to me, the hypnobirthing one was, you know, just keep saying, yeah, come, we want to see you. We want to see you. Here she's coming. She's arriving. This is it. Here she's coming. She's coming. Because with my first birth, I can remember just like being totally lost in what it was all about. Because it was just like, I was so lost. I had no, because it's weird. You don't want control because you've got to let go. But you need to be like completely free, but also have a focus. So whereas my first birth, I was just all over the place. It was like the difference of being caught up in a typhoon to just being like with the waves, with nature. You know, some people actually have orgasms when they're giving birth. I don't think I could ever get that far. They play with them, tweaking your nipples gets the good mood enhancing dressing, because that's why I had such a high after the hypnobirthing birth, because all those amazing free hormones that our bodies make to get us through birth just were so high because of how different it was. Oh, hello. Oh, she's off. She doesn't feel like being filmed today. Yeah, so it was such a positive experience. The other thing that I just loved about having home birth was that you're at home, back in your own bed, got your baby right next to you. You've got whatever food that you want. You know, if visitors come and you don't feel like it, you're upstairs and they're downstairs and they might have a little peek in. You know, if you're in a hospital, it can feel a bit sort of overwhelming, can't it? But I would say whatever works for you is what you should do. Like if you are really, really scared of it and scared of being at home, then absolutely hospital is right for you, you know. If you've always felt that you were going to have a cesarean and that's what's right for you, then that's what's right for you. You know, don't let anybody make you feel bad about your choices. I have to say, a lot of people have made me feel, well, tried to. They didn't feel bad about my choice to have my babies at home, because it was like, oh, it's so dangerous. Here she is. What do you want? Oh, she wants attention. Oh, there she is. Our other baby. So another interesting fact of my birth was, so I told you I was right here, that I gave birth to my youngest. Well, my eldest was directly, a direct line from here to the room upstairs. And neither of these two places where I gave birth did I think at any point that's where I was going to give birth. You know, I had areas all over the place. Oh, it's going to be here, it's going to be there, or I'll put a beanbag there because it's probably going to be. But both times I was inextricably drawn. There was no discussion. Oh, Nadia, why don't you come over here? No, it's just like I knew where I was going. I was like I was drawn by a magnet. Well, guess what? This is fascinating. Under this house, there is a spa, a natural wood spa. And I think it's right here. So I was drawn. Primal. the primal beast in me was drawn to here now. It is quite hard to make a decision to have a home birth because a lot of people around you don't want you to. Mark didn't want me to. His family didn't want me to because it was so like out there for them. It was like, you have babies in hospitals. Mark, do you think it was the right thing in the end?
Yeah, totally.
Why?
The second time, yeah. The first time was fucking horrendous.
Yeah, first time it was really hard. But the second time is so beautiful. And like it was a day like this, guys. So there was the sun coming in from the window like that. And as she was born, the sun was on her face. And it was just like, and she just went. And it was just, yeah, it just healed so much of my grief from my miscarriages. And yeah, that smile, she's still got that blow you away smile today. So #blessed. But I think it'd be nice. I don't know. Mark might have already put some photos in by now, but if not, maybe this is the moment to put some photos in. Guys, if you've got any questions about home birthing or hypnobirthing, then just put in the comment below. And please hit the subscribe button. It helps these videos get out to more people and more women that might want more choices, because we do have choices, you know. If you've never ever thought of a home birth, hopefully this will just make you think, oh, maybe, and just have a look into it. Because I'm so glad I did at home. I'm so glad. And you know what? They didn't want me to, because apparently I was practically a geriatric in the childbirthing world, because I was actually 42 when I had my youngest. So that is quite old. But anyway, hope that was interesting. Any questions? In the box below.